Welcome to the set of the Fantasy Show. I'm Matthew Berry. You know, last week we had our 2018 ESPN Fantasy Football Ranking Summit, where the entire fantasy department set our rankings for the year. You can see them all right now on ESPN.com, but here are the consensus top 10 quarterbacks. No shock that Aaron Rodgers comes in at number 1. Last year's number 1, Russell Wilson, is at 3. And despite being on a new team, Kirk Cousins remains inside the top 8. Seems like it's a perfect time for another edition of FARC, Frequently Asked Rankings Questions. Secret Squirrel, Daniel Dopp. What's our first question about this year's quarterback crop?
First question comes from me, actually. I noticed that you guys have Jimmy Garoppolo, who only had like 5 good games last year, inside the top 10. I mean, doesn't that feel like it's kind of high?
Yeah, I understand the concerns that Jimmy Garoppolo could be nothing more than an extremely handsome flash in the pan, like Secret Squirrel.
Hey.
Sorry, dude. Look, 5 starts, not a big sample size, right? But in those 5 starts from weeks 13 through week 17 last year, Garoppolo was top 8 in the NFL in attempts, completions, passing yards, and fantasy points. And that was with just a small segment of Kyle Shanahan's playbook under his belt and a lot of injured starters not available. Now, with a full offseason in the system, getting Pierre Garçon back, an improved offensive line, and adding a good pass-catching running back in Jerick McKinnon, Garoppolo in line for a huge year. I personally have him as my QB number 9. Wouldn't be surprised if he finishes even higher. All right, Secret Squirrel, what's next?
Our next question comes from our injury minion, Marcello. Oh, yeah, I forgot this idiot can't talk. Sorry about that. I think what he's trying to say is there are 3 quarterbacks with fairly major injury concerns inside the top 9. I mean, doesn't it seem kind of risky taking a quarterback that early with that?
Well, why are you asking me? That's a Stefania Bell question. Stefania, you around here?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Stefania.
Well, you know, Carson Wentz thinks he'll be ready to go by week 1, and he could be. But after having 2 ligaments surgically repaired in his knee, he could require a little extra time to be game ready. Now, Deshaun Watson's been through this whole ACL rehab process before and came back a winner while he was at Clemson. He should be ready to go by camp. But the big question, Andrew Luck. It's been 16 months since he had his shoulder surgically repaired, and after he shut it down last year, he went to Europe for extra therapy. He went to work with the throwing coach. But until we see him throw the football on the field, hard to be certain.
All right, thanks, Stefania. And I think that's one reason why he's down in the top 10. If he's fully healthy, you know he's a top 4 guy. All right, Secret Squirrel, what's next?
All right, final question, Matthew, is for me. As we all know, I was the breakthrough star in fantasy football media in 2017.
Really? Because I voted for someone else.
How dare you? Anyways, is there anyone in this list of second-tier quarterbacks that you think could break into the top 10? Here you have a list of quarterbacks 11 through 20.
And you see how deep the quarterback position is this year with all these huge names right before you. All these guys are studs, frankly. It's such a deep position. But if you ask me for one guy that could be this year's Carson Wentz, how about Pat Mahomes? Remember the guy Mahomes is replacing in Kansas City, Alex Smith, was quarterback 4 last year. It's a fantasy-friendly offense. They added Sammy Watkins. He's got a cannon for an arm. He can run. Yeah, give me some Patrick Mahomes as a QB2 with upside. And remember, all of our rankings are live right now on ESPN.com. And for an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at how we set the rankings, we have 5 Fantasy Football Now specials on ESPN+.